Hey, this lesson we're going to be looking at some more view options. So most of the view options are available under view. So selecting view, you do have the option to show, so you can hide the formula bar. That's the bar here just below the quick menu. So selecting that, you can hide it and unhide it. So depending on how you're using your spreadsheets and depending on how much space you want within the spreadsheet. So if you go to hide it, and then they also have an option to hide the grid lines. So we can select and we can hide the grid lines, and that will provide the sheet without the grid lines. You can add in the grid lines once again under the show. There's also the formulas. So if you select, that will show the various formulas for the cells. So in this case, we did have the two formulas that we created last time. So they're providing the formulas and not the output of the formulas. So if you do want to see formulas that are being used within the spreadsheet, this is one way that you can do that. There's also under the view, you can show the various protected ranges. So in this case, I don't have any protected ranges, but if I did add in a protected range, which we did see earlier how we can do that, I'm going to just call it test and set permissions and then done. So now when I do the view of the protected ranges and hover over the protected range, it's going to show the protected range that there is within the page. I can once again show the formula bar and show the grid lines. Most commonly, we are familiar with the grid lines within the spreadsheet. There's also other ways that you can get more view screen area. If you're not using the quick menu, you can hide the quick menu, so you can hide the menu. You can either use the shortcut, the keyboard shortcut to hide it, or you can press the chevron here and hit up, and that's going to provide you more space and hide that short menu. You can also unhide the menu by selecting down or the keyboard shortcut, and that will unhide the menu tabs. So again, providing you more options with what you want to view on your screen. There's also a side panel on the left-hand side. So this is a side panel that you can select, and you can hide or show the side panel. The side panel allows you to connect to other workspace apps, and you can also add additional add-ons here. So this is a quick way that you can select and integrate and move to the other workspace applications. So for instance, if you want to add to Keep, you can make notes without having to close your spreadsheet, and you can interact with the other Google Workspace apps. So in order to close it, you can always hide the side panel, and that's going to provide, once again, more space for the viewing area of your spreadsheet content. There's also a zoom option. So what the zoom option does is, this is actually different from the zoom of the browser. This will zoom in only on the content of the spreadsheet. Whereas if you go to the browser zoom, I currently do have it at 200, so I can make it smaller, but the zoom on the content itself is still going to be 200. So that will make the content larger and keep the tab menus the same. If you update the browser, it's going to update all of the tab menus as well and zoom that in. So there is a difference between the zoom of the sheet content under view and also the zoom of the browser. There's also an option for full screen. So full screen just does that, where it opens it up on full screen. So that gets rid of all of the menu options, and you can select those and view them once again by pressing escape on your keyboard. If you are hiding the formula bar, and if you are hiding the grid lines, and then if you do go to the full screen view, that's going to give you the most optimal space within the spreadsheet. And then once again, if you do want to have the view menu back, you can either use the shortcut, or you can press escape on your keyboard, and that will bring you back to the previous state with the tab menu bars.